Hey everybody, it's Carrie Bernstein, Executive Director at Stand for Animals Veterinary Clinic, and I'm here today with Dr. Elizabeth Welch, who's our Medical Director, and surprise, it's not a cat or dog, it's a human baby, Leora. So she's going to be our visual prop today. She's sleeping. Isn't she sweet? Everybody take a close peek at her. And today we're going to use the fix to talk a little bit about a topic that's been in the news and is on the top of everybody's mind right now, which is this whole thing about grain-free food. And actually the reason that we brought Leora today is because she is on a grain-free diet. She only drinks milk. But that does not apply to your dogs and cats. So what we want to do today is talk to Dr. Welch about what this controversy is all about and what people need to worry about and how to understand what the media is telling us about what grain-free food can do to your dog or cat. So let's start off by saying, what is the deal? Like, what are people talking about right now?
Right. So the FDA just came out with a study on certain kind of popular breeds out there of pet food. And a lot of these pet foods have been implicated in, they've watched dogs and cats as they've progressed through the eating of this food over the past couple of years, and they're starting to see some heart disease associated with that. And it's because the food lacks certain amino acids that help the heart function.
So when they made the food grain-free, they removed this amino acid.
Correct. Some of these grains, like the legumes, the soy, the peas, all of those things have these amino acids that the body needs for the heart to function appropriately. And about 25 years ago, the same thing happened with the name brand foods of your Purina, your Iams, your Royal Canin, and your Eukanuba and Hills. And basically what happened is they found that there was a taurine deficiency, and it was causing these cats to get what they call dilated cardiomyopathy. And now they're starting to see that with dogs and the grain-free. Problem is it's not your major pet food companies. And like I said, I'm going to say them again: Purina, Hills, Royal Canin, and Iams and Eukanuba. Those are your people that have all of the studies based around the food.
So basically, these companies have done testing to make
Correct.
Sure that they're including the things that your dog needs for total health.
Exactly. All your vitamins, all your amino acids, it's heart health, it's GI health. And honestly, these pet food companies also have a veterinary diet. So all those prescription diets that you need for allergies, heart disease, liver disease, obesity, those are all from these four main companies.
So basically, you don't have to run around a blind panic that your dog has heart disease. What you need to do is focus on the list, which is provided.
It's everywhere right now.
Right.
On the internet. You can Google it. The FDA has it on their website.
Right. So you can look and see if your food is on that list. And if it happens to be on that list, what are things that someone who's worried should look for in terms of some kind of symptom in their dog? Or if they're feeding that food, should they just make an appointment at the veterinarian and go in? Like, what would you advise?
I would say if you're concerned then that you've been feeding it for a while, you have no idea, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of signs and symptoms associated with this heart issue unless it's end-stage heart disease, which you probably would have picked up on a little bit earlier. But there are some blood testing that some of your bigger general practices can do. A lot of emergency clinics have it. Some of your bigger practices will have these blood tests that you can test for enzymes in the heart and in the blood. And it'll kind of help give you a factor on if your dog is at risk or not. Doesn't mean that the food caused it, but it means that your dog may be at a higher risk, and you might want to look at feeding these foods that have these
and it's not, unfortunately, it's not a test that we carry because it's more of an expensive test, and we don't generally do that, but other practices do. So if you have any concern, go to somewhere and get your dog tested, and that way you don't have to worry about it. And it's not something that is endemic across the country in terms of problems. You just have to look and make sure that the food that you're feeding is not on the list. And I feed our dogs a food called Natural Balance, and Elizabeth, I was like, oh my God, it's grain-free. And they've been eating grain-free food since they were, little teeny puppies. And Elizabeth was like, no, that food is fine.
Right. It's a little lower on the list. I want to say Akana and Fromm were probably the two higher ones that were associated. And a lot of it is just that these foods, all this grain-free, gluten-free, just everybody's on that bandwagon right now. And so pet food, I think, decided that, hey, we're going to get on that bandwagon. We can sell more bags this way. And what's happening is we're starting to see a detriment, which is a good thing because we're catching it early. And they'll probably be able to correct those things in the future. And those brands will be fine pet food later on. They just don't have the resources nor the history and the research to back up the food that they're putting out on the product on the line.
And if you have questions, for sure use our chat line and ask them, and we'll be happy to respond to them in real time if there's something that you want to know. And if you want us to go into this a little further, we can absolutely do another segment on it. And don't forget that we would like for you to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, share this with your friends. We want to keep having people watch The Fix, so make sure that you tune in, and thanks for watching.